What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cab Show. UFC 295 was iconic. I told you Alex Pereira was going to become the new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, and I told you in the second round by knockout. I just saw it coming. I manifested it. This was easy, free money for you guys. I mean, look, Alex Pereira, he is a dog. He has that dog in him, and I'm telling you what, dude, he's straight out of the Amazon jungle. This dude is a real killer. If the UFC, if he never got into fighting, this dude would probably be out killing animals for a living, dude. We'll be killing mountain lions, tigers, bears, gorillas, everything, dude. I'm telling you, Alex Pereira has that it factor, and a lot of people in this fight were saying, oh, it was an early stoppage. Jerry came out and said, look, I was out. You know, it was definitely the right stoppage, absolutely, but looking at this fight, I even said in the first round, Alex Pereira's going to start throwing leg kicks, and that was really the difference here. And we saw Jerry come forward a lot of times, but yet when he would come forward, he would get leg kicked. I mean, could you imagine getting leg kicked in the calves over and over again, in the thighs over and over again? You're going to start to slow down. You're not going to move as quick anymore. Like, you're just, everything in the flow is not right. And Jerry, dude, nothing to take away from him, dude. He's a dog. I mean, what a fighter he is. But Alex Pereira just made history here. He joined Conor McGregor and George St. Pierre as the only fighters in the UFC to win a championship in two different weight classes at Madison Square Garden. That is crazy, dude. Him, Conor McGregor, and George St. Pierre. And we look at Conor McGregor and George St. Pierre and say, wow, dude, what a career they had in the UFC. I mean, everything they did in the UFC was iconic. And yet, Conor's still in the UFC, which I do think the hunger's gone with him. But we're talking about GSP here. Arguably one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Alex Pereira joins that class right there in Madison Square Garden, dude. Like, this is crazy. He's the 9th fighter to win a UFC championship in multiple weight classes. Like, dude, Alex Pereira is a dog. And we had some jaws back between him and Izzy. You know, Israel Adesanya, I do think he needs to stay at 185. If Izzy dares to go up to 205 and fight Alex Pereira at 205, I think Alex Pereira should be favorite in that fight. Even though, yes, Alex Pereira did get knocked out by Israel Adesanya the most recent fight. But overall, Alex Pereira's up on Israel Adesanya. You know, I'm telling you, dude, it's crazy because the 185 champion at middleweight right now is who? Sean Strickland, who Alex Pereira clean knocked him out, dude. Just made him look silly. Made him look like, dude, you shouldn't even be in the same realm as me. You shouldn't even be breathing the same oxygen as me. Like, you should be bleeding different than red than me. Like, seriously, he's on another level. And that's what separates Alex Pereira, man. It's crazy. I mean, in the UFC, he's 6-1. He obviously lost to Izzy by that knockout. You know, but other than that, 6-1 in the UFC, 9-2 in his MMA career. He's one of the quickest fighters in two different weight classes to those titles in 7 fights. It took him 7 fights to win 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. 7 fights. That is unheard of. I don't really hear that much anymore. And we got a lot of new up-and-comers in the UFC that haven't even touched that yet, dude. 7 fights. He's had 2 belts. Like 185 belt and the 205 belt. And he's the current light heavyweight champion. And anybody in the light heavyweight champion right now who's going to fight Alex Pereira, it's going to be a long shot. It really is. I mean, what light heavyweight people do you think that could really match up well against Alex Pereira? Like, be straight up honest. I mean, what he did in this fight, it was amazing. I mean, in the second round, we saw what started. It was the right hook. Like I said, it's kind of unorthodox the way Alex boxes. I don't know why he's so good at it. I think there's some ways where he could still get better from getting hit. I think he leaves his chin up too much. That's one of his weaknesses in his fight game. But other than that, he threw the clean right. That clipped Jerry and immediately dropped. And then he threw the clean left, nailed the left, and that's when really he went out. He was trying to take Alex down. Alex kept hitting him on the side with punches, and then he just fell down. I mean, right then, that's telling me right there that he's out, dude. Clearly, he's not functioning correctly. And from that right hook to the left, it was just nasty, dude. And it was quick shots. It wasn't like, you know, these shots that were like so telegraphed. It was just a quick right, and then the left came in, nailed it perfectly on his chin, and then he just dropped like a bag of ice. And I was just like, this is an easy pick for me. Second round knockout, it cashed in, it hit, it made people millionaires overnight, dude. So Alex Pereira, he's a guy that you should not bet against. really, though, you should not bet against this guy, man. Like, this is crazy, man. He's the first fighter in UFC history to win titles, like I said, in the middleweight, in light heavyweight. Like, that's crazy, dude. Like, 185 into 205, he's got both belts. You know, it's crazy. He owns Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland has the 185 belt right now. You think Alex Pereira cares about that? Heck no. He said, I already sparked this dude. This dude is not on my level. I'm not trying to disrespect Sean Strickland, but the reality is Sean Strickland knows he does not want to fight him, dude. He's just a different animal. When this guy comes to you during the weigh-ins and he's wearing face paint, you know, all the tribal stuff, you know, this guy's the real deal. You know, and he's over here shooting you like a bow and arrow. Like, this guy is a real killer, dude. He doesn't need a real gun, dude. Like we see here in America where people can't fight, so they just shoot each other to death. You know, watch them bleed out, you know, on camera. But, you know, this guy, Alex Pereira, he will literally kill you with his hands, his bare hands. Like a real man back in like the ancient days. The Romans, you know, they beheaded people. Like they kill people with their own hands. Savages, dude. Like Alex Pereira is about that life. He really is. And you can just see in his eyes, dude. You can see like he is really about that life, dude. Like he is a stone cold killer, dude. Like straight up. And this was a masterpiece. Right now, Alex Pereira's 9-2. And I think he should stay at the light heavyweight division. You know, he's the champion. Obviously, he's going to defend his belt all next year in 2024. He's probably going to fight 3 times next year, I would say. You know, that's what Alex wants to do. He wants to be active. And that's another thing with Alex Pereira in this fight was he was way more active. Jerry's coming off an injury, a shoulder injury. Hasn't fought in, what, like a year, over a year? So all that rust right there, it's just you're not in rhythm. Some things are off here. So Alex Pereira, this was just an easy pick, dude. Like 185, dude. He naturally walks around probably about 220, dude. Alex Pereira naturally, he has to cut a lot of weight. So fighting at the light heavyweight division is an easy cut for him. Cutting what, 15 pounds, if that. Like walking around weight. Like for him, that's natural. That's a natural weight class. So I think if Israel Adesanya wants another shot with him, you know, it's going to be at 205. And we remember when Israel Adesanya went up to 205, he lost. So I just think for Izzy, he needs to stay at 185, you know, stay in that league right there because the big boys, the light heavyweight division and the heavyweight division are the big dogs here. We're talking Doberman Pinschers, we're talking Rottweilers, we're talking Alaskan Huskies, we're talking German Shepherds here, Pit Bulls, you know, you name it. I'm telling you, these are the big guys here. Like, these guys are for the real deal. And Alex Pereira, I see him defending his belt many times at the light heavyweight division. You know, it used to be owned by John Jones for over a decade. John Jones said, you know what, I'm tired of winning in the light heavyweight division. Let me go up to heavyweight, steal the belt. I stole the belt, even though the interim champion right now, shout out to Tom Aspinall, I did not think he would win this fight. I picked the other dude, Sergi. I was totally off on this one. I was off on this pick, and I was off on the Mackenzie Dern. Jessica knocked her out clean in the first round. Shout out to Jessica. I definitely doubted her because she was on a 3-fight losing streak. I just thought everything with that. But shout out to Jessica with that knockout. Mackenzie Dern just got sparked. That's just part of the UFC, though. That's the fight game. You know, that's the business. Like, you're going to eventually lose. Like, you're not going to win every single fight. You know, and I understand Khabib did, but we could arguably say, hey, Khabib-wise, you know, he was 29-0, but he retired in his prime, dude. He still had a lot of fights lined up, a lot of big money fights, but I still love Khabib. What a character he is. He's not really worried about the money. He's more worried about the legacy of building character, building leaders of young men that are coming up into the sport. So shout out to Khabib. I just wish he didn't retire that early, but I don't put Khabib at number 1 overall. You know, just because he didn't lose, there were some fights where he arguably lost, but overall, Khabib, what a career. But shout out to Tom Aspinall, first round knockout. I should have did more homework on Tom. I didn't realize he was a former boxer here. So his hands, he would definitely had the better stand-up all around. Even though the Sergi dude was definitely knocking dudes out on a 6-fight win streak, 6 knockouts in a row. But overall, Tom just was more experienced here. It looked like he was just ready for it. But let's be honest, dude. If this guy Tom were to fight John Jones tomorrow, it would go bad. Yeah, it would really go bad. If he wants to stand up with John, okay, John's going to throw crazy leg kicks. And if he starts to piece up John, what's John going to do? He's going to take you down. John is a wrestler. You know, we saw him out-wrestle the Olympic, you know, Daniel Cormier. Like, he took him down many times. So I think John Jones is on, like I said, the GOAT of all time. He's just on another atmosphere right now. He's not breathing oxygen. He's not drinking H2O. Like, John Jones is an alien from another planet, dude. Like, he's just on something, dude. Like, no, I'm not talking about the yayo. I'm saying, dude, this dude is just an animal. He's a freak. He would run through Tom. But shout out to Tom. He's the interim heavyweight champion of the world. Well-deserved. But overall, there's no way he would beat John Jones. Any of these heavyweights right now on the current UFC roster would not put a fair fight up with John Jones. That's just the facts of it, dude. John Jones is on another level. Now, however, if Francis Ngannou ends up coming back to the UFC and they get this mega fight at UFC 300, John Jones versus Francis Ngannou, get Conor McGregor on that same card with John Jones, that would be iconic for UFC 300. They got to build something like that. That'll be amazing. It really would. But overall, man, it's just, Tom, dude, these heavyweights hit different. They really do. One hit's all it takes, literally. We think middleweight or the featherweight, those guys hit hard. Come on, dude. We're talking heavyweights, 250 plus, dude. Throwing a huge overhand right to your face, you're getting knocked out. If you're not used to the punches, dude, you're getting knocked out. So shout out to Tom getting the dub. But the main event, like I said, Alex Pereira, second round knockout. I manifested it. This was probably the easiest pick all weekend out of all the sports, out of NFL, college football. I'm telling you, Alex Pereira was a guaranteed hit here, dude. He's an animal, dude. He's a killer. Like, he is a legit killer, dude. You can see it in his eyes. Like, he's coming for you. He's coming to take your heart. He's coming to take your soul and knock you the clean out. That's what Alex Pereira does. He's 9-2 in the UFC. I think he's going to win a lot of fights. I think he's going to defend his belt at least 3 times next year, and those 3 times are going to be successful defenses. I really do. I mean, there is a possibility where we can see Alex Pereira go down to 185, which I don't think he would. Why would he? If I'm Dana White running the UFC, I'm saying, look, stay at the light heavyweight division. You look better at the light heavyweight division. You walk around at that weight anyway, naturally. So it's just fighting at that weight is better for you. When a lot of these fighters cut 50 pounds, dude, you get knocked out easier. You're dehydrated. Your brain's dry. You just don't have enough water. You get knocked out a lot cleaner. So I think walking around at your natural weight, fighting at your natural weight is the way to go to succeed in the UFC and to succeed in any fight game. If it's boxing, any type of fighting. So I think for MMA especially, fight at the natural weight, dude. Like, you don't need to be a weight bully and cut all this weight. Like, it's ridiculous. So I think for Alex Pereira and Dana White, they're on the right track here. And Alex Pereira, like I said, making history. He joins GSP and Conor McGregor, man, at the Madison Square Garden. It's iconic, dude. What a UFC 295. Alex Pereira is a true dog, and I cannot wait to UFC 296 next month to close out the year. What a year for the UFC. I mean, started off with the bang, and it's going to end with the bang. We got Leon Edwards versus Colby Chaos Covington. Obviously, I got to go the American. I got to go Colby. I got to go the wrestler. I got to go someone who's hungry. And a lot of people like to talk crap about Leon Edwards. He is kind of slept on in a way, but overall, you're dealing with Colby here, who has an unlimited gas tank, who's going to put pressure on you, who's going to take you down, who's going to put you up against the cage, put you in different spots that you don't want to, that you're really uncomfortable. So, obviously, my pre-fight prediction for UFC 296 is Colby Covington by decision, by dominant, dude. He's going to dominate Leon Edwards, make him look like a schoolgirl. I'm telling you right now. But I can't wait for UFC 296. UFC 295 did not disappoint in the new UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira take off. A true champion, a true dog. It's the Clown with Cam show. Let's